Hi there, Amit here for PhoneRadar and you're watching the review of the all-new Samsung Galaxy A8 smartphone. Samsung has been experimenting a lot in the mid-range segment when it offers you with the premium experience in these devices. Though it all started when Samsung launched a unibody device sporting a metal body in the form of Galaxy Alpha. It might not have been the greatest mid-range phone, but it does feel like a premium phone. Trying to offer a premium build has always been the company's priority, which can be seen in the latest handsets. The Galaxy A series was specifically designed to offer unibody smartphones, and the A8 is not different than its siblings. With the chamfered edges all over the body as well as rounded corners on the device as well, the device looks quite stylish, and the thickness is just 5.9 mm, making it one of the thinnest smartphones from Samsung. Moreover, it's also quite light at just 151 grams even though it has a metal body. The metal build and sleek design are the killer combination for the current scenario among smartphones. Now that we have said some good stuff about this design, let us inform you about the bad. Even after knowing that it feels solid in the hands, you can't ignore the fact that it can still be cumbersome at times because of the large display size and slippery metal back. The button and port placements are similar to what we have seen on the Galaxy A series of smartphones. Moving to the rear side, the camera module is placed in the top center along with the flashlight and speaker unit. The Samsung branding can be seen below the camera module. In terms of the display, the Galaxy A8 comes with a 5.7 inches Super AMOLED display with Full HD resolution, which results in pixel density of 386 ppi, which is as good as it gets for a mid-range device. The large size devices have been good for media consumption such as watching videos, playing games, and even for browsing. It got everything that we have loved on Samsung displays on premium devices. The Super AMOLED display on A8 is pretty amazing, and it is one of the best qualities that we have liked on the device. The viewing angles, brightness levels, outdoor legibility, and the color vibrancy are amazing on its screen. Though it's not a Quad HD display quality that we loved on S6 and S6 Edge, but it isn't a high-end smartphone either to pack such beauty. The 1080p display resolution is more than enough when you get an AMOLED display on a mid-range smartphone, considering the display has good sharpness which allows fantastic display experience while reading the text or doing any other things on this device. The device is powered with a 64-bit octa-core Snapdragon 615 processor clocking at 1.5 GHz along with the 405 GPU and 2 GB of RAM. That is the configuration you would be getting if you're not living in Korea, as the company is offering a different variant of this device in their home country. The Korean version is powered with the Exynos 5430 chipset offering the same 2 GB of RAM. There might be performance differences while the chipsets are different. It comes with a 32 GB of internal storage, out of which around 25 GB is available to the users, which is fair space considering it can be expanded up to 128 GB. You also get the option of dual SIM connectivity, or you can switch one of those with the microSD card for storage expansion. Talking about the everyday performance of A8, we thought it did more than what we would expect from a mid-range device. It has been heard as a fact that the Snapdragon 615 chipsets heat a lot, but that's not what we experienced while using this device, even while playing high-end games. The gameplay on the device was quite up to the mark considering it was a 64-bit octa-core processor. Moreover, we had a great experience while playing heavy graphic-intensive games. Switching between the games also did break the RAM allocation, but that is a task for flagship devices with 4 GB RAM. Talking about the fingerprint scanner on the device, it is accurate as we saw in the Galaxy S6, and the functionality which we would hardly see from a mid-range device and would generally see from a high-end device. But since we are talking about the Samsung device who likes to offer certain features to its consumers on devices, we appreciate that. Samsung has been offering the TouchWiz interface since its launch of the first Galaxy device. Improving with time, we finally see the TouchWiz live up to the mark of better Android skin. Obviously, it's not stock Android, but there are many performance improvements on the TouchWiz since the Galaxy S6 introduction. There's a lot less bloatware and unnecessary features on the UI compared to the earlier Samsung Galaxy devices. Though the overall design language of the interface remains the same, by default you get the Flipboard magazine featured as brief, which can be accessed by left swipe. You get the same app drawer where you can access all the applications, and it comes pre-installed with quite a number of applications. There's a folder of Microsoft applications pre-installed on the device, which is a result of partnership between both the companies, but we thought they were quite resourceful at the time. The theme engine was introduced with the S6 and is also present on the A8, which allows you to change the theme according to the needs. Now, if you are not a fan of the default blue and green TouchWiz color scheme, then you can surely change to something which is more appealing and attract to you. Moreover, you also get the support of USB OTG drive to extend the media consumption, and OTG drives are very small and easy data carriage drives. So just attach the USB OTG drive to your port and get started. Talking about the camera, the rear camera is of 16 megapixel, packing a f1.9 aperture sensor, which is exactly similar to what we had seen on the Galaxy S6. It's very unusual of any big brands to offer a camera module used on their flagship devices to also offer it under the mid-range smartphones. It is possibly the best thing done by Samsung on the A8. The captures from the rear camera come out to be amazing, and here are a few samples of the same. Talking about the low light capabilities of the rear camera, there is no way you will find a better camera than this in terms of the low light captures, except that you can find from the LG's G4, which would beat this smartphone. The camera app experience is quite good, and if you're familiar with the Samsung Galaxy devices, then it would be a piece of cake for you to understand your way to this improved application. I was skeptical about whether the camera app would load fast, but apparently I was surprised to the fact that in a mid-range smartphone you get a flagship performer on this device. The front-facing camera is one of the best we have tried on an Android device. In the recent test devices, the OnePlus 2, the MX5, the A8, we found out that the A8 is one of the best smartphones for capturing selfies, and it's a marvelous package which comes to you under the camera application. Talking about the battery, which is powered with 3000 mAh of capacity, it's something which is decent enough for the large screen size and the Snapdragon 615 combination, which lasts for a day. And our experience with this device was also pretty good, and surprisingly it didn't have a lot of drop in the battery during standby time, and though it was certain that it did drop by around 6 to 7% during the night, but that's not too bad. Talking about the screen on time, you can possibly get around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time, but again, if you keep switching the brightness to very low or something which is almost comfortable to you, then you can enhance the screen on time. Unfortunately, the A8 doesn't support faster charging unlike the flagship siblings, so you won't be able to charge your device as quick as your Galaxy S6, which took around 90 minutes for charging from 10 to 100%. With the Galaxy 8 being around $500 in the international market, which surprisingly excludes the US, there's a rough chance that it might do great number of sales in countries like China, India and South Korea, where the device is currently selling. So I suggest this is a good device if you don't want to go overboard with high-end specs and want a smartphone with specs powerful enough to get your tasks completed without hassle. And of course, the battery life is pretty good. So that's it. This was the detailed review of the Samsung Galaxy A8, which is currently available in India. Don't forget to add a thumbs up and stay subscribed to PhoneRadar. You can also check the link in the description area below to have more detailed insights on this review. This is Amit signing off, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you.